Rebecca Harlow.
Coach, it's not often that you can shoot 5 for 27 from 3 and still win a game by 15 points, but your defense carried you guys all night long. What can you say about what you got on that end of the floor? What stood out to you tonight defensively?
I thought that our starters really set the tone. I thought Elfrid was terrific. Then, we had a number of guys. I think Elfrid and New Orleans are sort of the unsung heroes, but they add a lot to our team. And then Julius stepped up and had a monster game again, making big shots. But then they're tough. They're a hard playing team, and they have good veterans. And if you let your guard down for a second, they can come back on you. And very well coached and a lot of depth on that team.
McCarroll.
Tom, what does it tell you about your team? About 5 days ago, you guys had absorbed 2 awful losses on the road. You're down 13 2 nights after that. And here we are 5 days later, and we're talking about a whole different narrative again. What does that tell you about
I think you go step by step. And again, like some of those games that we fell short in the end, I thought we played extremely well. And we're seeing a different intensity level as we head down the stretch here. And so the game in Boston, I thought we played very well in. It was a hard-fought, physical game. It had a playoff intensity to it. So hopefully we can learn as we go. And there's ups and downs in the season. You have to keep going. And if you get knocked down, you dust yourself off, get up, and come back with more fight and grit. And that's what this team has. It has a togetherness and a belief that we can get it done.
Brian Mahoney. Unmute Brian.
Yeah. Hey, Tom. The Lakers looked really good the other night. Inside and outside. They picked you over the Nets. When you watched that and you played them tonight, what were you most trying to take away?
And you're right. They've been impressive. With LeBron out and Davis out. Again, I think it's a team that's built on defense, and they play together. They share the ball, and Schroeder is a load to deal with. Drummond puts enormous pressure on you, rolling to the rim, as does Harrell. And they surrounded him with shooting. It's a very hard-playing team. KCP is a tough matchup. Wes Matthews has been a good player in the league for a long time. Morris can stretch you out. Kuzma. They have great versatility. They can play multiple positions. You have to be ready for the different lineups. So it's a tough team.
Steph Bondy.
Tom, looking ahead to your matchup against New Orleans and the first time against Zion, how unique of a player is that? With that size, being able to do what he's able to do athletically.
Yeah, it's probably a good word to describe him. Unique is unusual because it's power and speed. And usually, when you have the power, you don't have the speed, or if you have the speed, you don't have the power. And he has both. Very skilled, puts a lot of pressure on you. Dynamic playmaker. So we know we're going to have to be ready. And as a team that's gotten better as the season's gone along.
Steve Popper.
Tom, going back to that for a second, I know you weren't here when they picked him, but has RJ proved to you kind of that he fits as a guy who was in that top 3?
Well, I love the guy we got. I know that. RJ's had a terrific season for us. He's great to be around, great teammate, great to coach. He's gotten better each and every day, gives you everything he has, puts the team first. You can't ask for anything more than that. And I think he's got a huge upside.
Mark Berman.
Hey, Tom, you mentioned Elfrid being terrific. In what way tonight?
A lot of pressure on the rim, downhill, in the paint, ball pressure, making tough plays, gives us a physicality, allows us to do more switching than we normally would because of the size and toughness that he has. So it was he's an important part of this team.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Hey, everyone, Elfrid Peyton's here. If you have a question, raise your hand and I'll bring you to the room. Rebecca Harlow.
Alfred, the Lakers have relied on their defense to win games lately, and tonight with the three ball not falling for you guys, how were you able to so effectively break down the paint and get the job done?
Just trying to look for different seams and cracks. That's something I've been doing my whole career. So just trying to get in the paint, trying to make plays for others, make it for myself.
Sandro Gasparo.
Hey, Elfrid, there was a moment in the game where the entire bench went to pick up Reggie after he hit the deck. Do you remember that? And what does something like that say about this team and its culture?
We all bought in. We all locked in. We all pulling for each other. Everybody wants to see the next man do well. And I think that's been, like you said, a huge part of our success. Everybody's pulling for each other. Personal agendas. We just got one goal.
Steve Popper.
Hey, Elfrid, you talked about that this has always been your game getting to the rim, but is it different for you here in this system with Julius handling the ball and RJ handling the ball as much as they do?
Yeah.
You play almost a different position?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's definitely different, but I think I did, good job adjusting. We've been playing well, doing well this season, so just rolling with it.
Steph Bondi.
Elfrid, going back to New Orleans is kind of like a homecoming for you a little bit. You played there and you live around there, or you grew up around there. What's that going to be like? And also, what's it going to be like facing Zion Williamson for the first time?
It's always good to go home. Always good to see family. So excited about that. And, excited for the challenge. He poses a lot of different threats on the court, but, I have no doubt that we'll be prepared and, ready to stop him.
Mark Berman.
Hey, Elfrid, yeah, getting back to New Orleans, you spend time there a lot. Is that city a little more excited now that they have Zion there? Do you feel it's more of a basketball town?
Nah, it's always going to be a Saint City. But, people that love the Pelicans, they always did. Before Zion, they love the Pelicans. I'm sure, hopefully Zion plays the rest of his career, but if he don't, they're still going to love the Pelicans. I think that's a bad rep that the city gets, that they don't like the Pelicans and not excited about the Pelicans. They love them.
Thank you, Elfrid.
Thanks.
Hey, everyone, Julius Randle's here. If you have a question, raise your hand and I'll bring you into the room. Bobby Childs.
Julius, you said coming into the game that you playing a team that drafted you meant a lot. So what was that feeling like today as the shots were falling for you?
It was good. It was good. I just was locked in the rhythm and just tried to stay aggressive all night.
Steve Popper.
Hey, Julius, on the other end, you guys seem to really disrupt them a lot. Just talk about the defense today, what you did to those guys.
MVP! Just swarming around, just doing what we've been doing all year. Locked into the game plan and what we had to do. Keep them off the offensive glass. We know that with Drummond and Montrez, they're really good on offensive glass. Swarm. Dennis got going early, so we tried to take him out of rhythm. And then, just play hard, rebound, get up the floor.
Mark Berman.
Hey, Julius. Even without LeBron and AD playing, does this still feel real good to beat the champs?
Always. Wins going to feel good regardless who's out there on the court. So, it feels good. It's always going to feel good. It's a team that, last two games they've been playing well. Beat Toronto, blew out Brooklyn. So, it's always going to feel good to win.
Steph Bondi.
Julius, it's every night now where you're getting these MVP chants. What's that been like?
It's cool, man. The love. that you get in the Garden that the fans are showing me is amazing. So it's good, man. It feels really good. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. And more for me, it's just about motivating me, to keep working harder and keep bringing it every night.
Brian Mahoney.
Hey, Julius, you talked about the way you came out aggressive and locked in. The way they are kind of big up front. And did you kind of know that, you guys couldn't afford a bad start? Go right from the start because of the kind of team they are?
Yeah, I mean, they're a good defensive team. And like I said, I was just aggressive from the start. And it's important early on the second night of the back-to-back to bring energy, and that's what I tried to do.
Steph Bondi.
Just looking ahead to New Orleans, what's it going to be like? What do you make of Zion Williamson? This is your first time facing him, I think. What do you think of him as a player, and what's it going to be like facing him?
He's a great player, unbelievable with how he's able to get in the lane and finish and do a bunch of different things. So, he's a tough matchup for sure. But I'll be ready for it.
Ian Bagley.
Hey, Julius, along those lines, looking ahead to New Orleans, what do you think of the way your old teammate Lonzo Ball has been playing?
Great, love it. With his confidence, how he's shooting the ball, all that type of stuff. You know what he does as far as defensively and how he pushes the ball. But I'm just happy that he's playing with confidence.
Mark Berman.
Yeah, regarding Lonzo, were you aware of that video of Lonzo, how upset he was when he found out you were leaving, and it was on maybe his reality show? I mean, it sounds like you guys were pretty tight.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, we definitely, like you said, we definitely were tight. We were a close group, that team. Just a lot of young guys and competing every night, sort of how this team is. We got young guys and vets, but just a hard-playing team competing every night, and really saw things turn around for us in the middle of that season, and we were really winning games. So obviously it was tough leaving, but everything happens for a reason.
Thank you, Julius.
Thank you, guys.